Like the nanny will complain, this child is not doing this child is not doing this, the child is not using potty anymore. So many complaints from the nanny, and the lady would just find herself punishing the child over and over and over again. And I was amazed how I was able to speak to this lady. And she took papers, you know. She took a paper and she started taking notes. And I was laughing at myself like, hey, yeah, Marie, there you go. You know, you're speaking like a coach. And my director was right there closer to me and was like, oh, really? You're doing the coaching? This is something you can do for our parents here, you know? And so, yeah, I could see the impact of the training I am taking here. And so, yeah, I'm ready to follow the road. I'm ready to work. Now that I'm in a school setup, I think it will be very easy for me not only to identify children who have issues and speak to their parents, you know, but again, a very good platform to market myself to parents, because it reached a point where I asked the lady, how are you doing emotionally? You know, are you okay? Were you able to go through those wounds as a child that you have? And she was like, oh my goodness, maybe that is where she will start. You know? So we exchanged numbers. I'm hoping to receive her call very soon. Yeah. So maybe she's going to be my first client, because I was like, well, I can do it, but for just small charges, not very expensive, but yeah, we can do it. And I'm ready to try to do this.
My name is Ayoluwa Adedeji. I am an associate parenting coach. My expectations before joining IFED, why I didn't, but I knew that I did a lot. So my expectation was not cut short. Saying that IFED exceeded my expectation is an understatement. My experience in class was awesome. I mean, with the host of Coach Miracle, Coach Amina, Coach Desola, Coach Adigwe, or PF himself. From the first module to the last module, it was interesting. IFED has capable hands. What stood out for me, my strength, I call it my weapon, is the parenting diagnostic assessment toolkit. Wow. It's an eye-opener. It's really insightful, and I'm grateful that I was part of the last cohort. It was really a game changer for me, even as a parent, not only as a parenting coach. A lot of things that I've been doing wrongly, that I now know how best to do it. So,
just like you said at the beginning, it's been quite hectic, but it's also been enlightening. I particularly enjoyed the healing for the inner child session, and then I liked some of those classes where we had to do case studies as well, where we had to do a role play. I had a good partner that I could relate with. A wholesome experience, and I am so grateful for it.
I saw the advert for this coaching program on Facebook, I think, and I was like, okay, I should do this. And I registered. And to be fair, I didn't know what I was going to expect. So before now, I have been a teens mentor in church. And I always used to say, please, I'm not a coach. I don't have any business with parents. They are very stubborn. They don't listen. They don't want to do it. So let me just be teaching children. They will listen to me. But someone asked me, so how do you want to get to the children if you don't go through the parents? And it hits me. So I registered for this course. The first day, the first lecture, it was PF that was teaching, and he said in his house, he tells his children know that they've not finished eating until they've washed their dishes. And immediately I dropped off from that call. I implemented it in my house. So you've not finished eating until you've washed your dishes. You've not finished your assignment until you've packed up your books. So and for every lecture we have, for every session we have, I found myself implementing it immediately in my home, and it's been amazing.
So far, I'm happy with what I can see the huge difference that it has brought into my own parenting, I must say. So as much as I have been in this journey of self-development when it comes to parenting, but having been on this course has really raised my awareness to a higher level, and I really appreciate it. So far, I'm really I'm reviewing the family communications module, and yeah, I realized that when we went through it, there were certain things that I was quite not sure of, and I found it to be quite interesting to learn about, to go deeper into the filters. So yeah.
Like there is this mother who came and he was like, my child will always suck his finger, and she doesn't live in the country. So when she came over after 3 months, she found herself just beating the child throughout. Like the nanny will complain, this child is not doing this child is not doing this, the child is not using potty anymore. So many complaints from the nanny, and the lady would just find herself punishing the child over and over and over again. And I was amazed how I was able to speak to this lady. And she took papers, you know. She took a paper and she started taking notes. And I was laughing at myself like, hey, yeah, Marie, there you go. You know, you're speaking like a coach. And my director was right there closer to me and was like, oh, really? You're doing the coaching? This is something you can do for our parents here, you know? And so, yeah, I could see the impact of the training I am taking here. And so, yeah, I'm ready to follow the road. I'm ready to walk. Now that I'm in a school setup, I think it will be very easy for me not only to identify children who have issues and speak to their parents, you know, but again, a very good platform to market myself to parents, because it reached a point where I asked the lady, how are you doing emotionally? You know, are you okay? Were you able to go through those wounds as a child that you have? And she was like, oh my goodness, maybe that is where she will start. You know, so we exchanged numbers. I'm hoping to receive her call very soon. Yeah, so maybe she's going to be my first client, because I was like, well, I can do it, but for just small charges, not very expensive, but yeah, we can do it. And I'm ready to try to do this.
My name is Ayoruwa Adedeji. I am an associate parenting coach. My expectations before joining IFED, why I didn't, but I knew that I did a lot. So my expectation was not cut short. Saying that IFED exceeded my expectation is an understatement. My experience in class was awesome. I mean, with the host of Coach Miracle, Coach Aminat, Coach Desola, Coach Adigwe, or PF himself. From the first module to the last module, it was interesting. IFED has capable hands. What stood out for me, my strength, I call it my weapon, is the parenting diagnostic assessment toolkit. Wow. It's an eye-opener. It's really insightful, and I'm grateful that I was part of the last cohort. It was really a game changer for me, even as a parent, not only as a parenting coach. A lot of things that I've been doing wrongly, that I now know how best to do it. So,
just like you said at the beginning, it's been quite hectic, but it's also been enlightening. I particularly enjoyed the healing for the inner child session, and then I liked some of those classes where we had to do case studies as well, where we had to do a role play. I had a good partner that I could relate with. A wholesome experience, and I am so grateful for it.
I saw the advert for this coaching program on Facebook, I think, and I was like, okay, I should do this. And I registered. And to be fair, I didn't know what I was going to expect. So before now, I have been a teens mentor in church. And I always used to say, please, I'm not a coach. I don't have any business with parents. They are very stubborn. They don't listen. They don't want to do it. So let me just be teaching children. They will listen to me. But someone asked me, so how do you want to get to the children if you don't go through the parents? And it hit me, so I registered for this course. The first day, the first lecture, it was PF that was teaching, and he said in his house, he tells his children know that they've not finished eating until they've washed their dishes. And immediately I dropped off from that call. I implemented it in my house. So you've not finished eating until you've washed your dishes. You've not finished your assignment until you've packed up your books. So and for every lecture we have, for every session we have, I found myself implementing it immediately in my home, and it's been amazing.
So far, I'm happy with what I can see the huge difference that it has brought into my own parenting, I must say. So as much as I have been in this journey of self-development when it comes to parenting, but having been on this course has really raised my awareness to a higher level, and I really appreciate it. So far, I'm really I'm reviewing the family communications module, and yeah, I realized that when we went through it, there were certain things that I was quite not sure of, and I found it to be quite interesting to learn about, to go deeper into the filters. So yeah.
Like there is this mother who came and he was like, my child will always suck his finger, and she doesn't live in the country. So when she came over after 3 months, she found herself just beating the child throughout. Like the nanny will complain, this child is not doing this child is not doing this, the child is not using potty anymore. So many complaints from the nanny, and the lady would just find herself punishing the child over and over and over again. And I was amazed how I was able to speak to this lady. And she took papers, you know. She took a paper and she started taking notes. And I was laughing at myself like, hey, yeah, Marie, there you go. You know, you're speaking like a coach. And my director was right there closer to me and was like, oh, really? You're doing the coaching? This is something you can do for our parents here, you know? And so, yeah, I could see the impact of the training I am taking here. And so, yeah, I'm ready to follow the road. I'm ready to walk. Now that I'm in a school setup, I think it will be very easy for me not only to identify children who have issues and speak to their parents, you know, but again, a very good platform to market myself to parents, because it reached a point where I asked the lady, how are you doing emotionally? You know, are you okay? Were you able to go through those wounds as a child that you have? And she was like, oh my goodness, maybe that is where I should start. You know, so we exchanged numbers. I'm hoping to receive her call very soon. Yeah, so maybe she's going to be my first client, because I was like, well, I can do it, but for just small charges, not very expensive, but yeah, we can do it. And I'm ready to try to do this.
My name is Deji. I am an associate parenting coach. My expectations before joining IFED, why I didn't, but I knew that I did a lot. So my expectation was not cut short. Saying that IFED exceeded my expectation is an understatement. My experience in class was awesome. I mean, with the host of Coach Miracle, Coach Amina, Coach Desola, Coach Adigwe, or PF himself. From the first module to the last module, it was interesting. IFED has capable hands. What stood out for me, my strength, I call it my weapon, is the parenting diagnostic assessment toolkit. Wow. it's an eye opener. It's really insightful, and I'm grateful that I was part of the last cohort. It was really a game changer for me, even as a parent, not only as a parenting coach. A lot of things that I've been doing wrongly that I now know how best to do it. So,
just like you said at the beginning, it's been quite hectic, but it's also been enlightening. I particularly enjoyed the healing for the inner child session, and then I liked some of those classes where we had to do case studies as well, where we had to do a role play. I had a good partner that I could relate with. A wholesome experience, and I am so grateful for it.
I saw the advert for this coaching program on Facebook, I think, and I was like, okay, I should do this. And I registered. And to be fair, I didn't know what I was going to expect. So before now, I have been a teens mentor in church. And I always used to say, please, I'm not a coach. I don't have any business with parents. They are very stubborn. They don't listen. They don't want to do it. So let me just be teaching children. They will listen to me. But someone asked me, so how do you want to get to the children if you don't go through the parents? And it hit me, so I registered for this course. The first day, the first lecture, it was PF that was teaching, and he said in his house, he tells his children know that they've not finished eating until they've washed their dishes. And immediately I dropped off from that call. I implemented it in my house. So you've not finished eating until you've washed your dishes. You've not finished your assignment until you've packed up your books. So and for every lecture we have, for every session we have, I found myself implementing in my home, and it's been amazing.
So far, I'm happy with what I can see the huge difference that it has brought into my own parenting, I must say. So as much as I have been in this journey of self-development when it comes to parenting, but having been on this course has really raised my awareness to a higher level, and I really appreciate it. So far, I'm reviewing the family communications module. And yeah, I realized that when we went through it, there were certain things that I was quite not sure of. And I found it to be quite interesting to learn about, to go deeper into the filters. So yeah.
Like there is this mother who came and he was like, my child will always suck his finger, and she doesn't live in the country. So when she came over after 3 months, she found herself just beating the child throughout. Like the nanny will complain, this child is not doing this child is not doing this, the child is not using potty anymore. So many complaints from the nanny, and the lady will just find herself punishing the child over and over and over again. And I was amazed how I was able to speak to this lady. And she took papers, you know. She took a paper and she started taking notes. And I was laughing at myself like, hey, yeah, Marie, there you go. You know, you're speaking like a coach. And my director was right there closer to me and was like, oh, really? You're doing the coaching? This is something you can do for our parents here, you know? And so, yeah, I could see the impact of the training I am taking here. And so, yeah, I'm ready to follow the road and ready to work. Now that I'm in a school setup, I think it will be very easy for me not only to identify children who have issues and speak to their parents, you know, but again, a very good platform to market myself to parents, because it reached a point where I asked the lady, how are you doing emotionally? You know, are you okay? Were you able to go through those wounds as a child that you have? And she was like, oh my goodness, maybe that is where I should start. You know? So we exchanged numbers. I'm hoping to receive her call very soon. Yeah. So maybe she's going to be my first client, because I was like, well, I can do it, but for just small charges, not very expensive, but yeah, we can do it. And I'm ready. to try to do this?
My name is Ayowa Adedeji. I am an associate parenting coach. My expectations before joining IFED, why I didn't, but I knew that in a lot. So my expectation was not cut short. Saying that IFED exceeded my expectation is an understatement. My experience in class was awesome. I mean, with the host of Coach Miracle, Coach Amina, Coach Desola, Coach Adigwe, or PF himself. From the first module to the last module, it was interesting. IFED has capable hands. What stood out for me, my strength, I call it my weapon, is the parenting diagnostic assessment toolkit. Wow. It's an eye-opener. It's really insightful, and I'm grateful that I was part of the last cohort. It was really a game changer for me, even as a parent, not only as a parenting coach. A lot of things that I've been doing wrongly that I now know how best to do it. So,
just like you said at the beginning, it's been quite hectic, but it's also been enlightening. I particularly enjoyed the healing for the inner child session, and then I liked some of those classes where we had to do case studies as well, where we had to do a role play. I had a good partner that I could relate with. A wholesome experience, and I am so grateful for it.
I saw the advert for this coaching program on Facebook, I think, and I was like, okay, I should do this. And I registered. And to be fair, I didn't know what I was going to expect. So before now, I have been a teens mentor in church. And I always used to say, please, I'm not a coach. I don't have any business with parents. They are very stubborn. They don't listen. They don't want to do it. So let me just be teaching children. They will listen to me. But someone asked me, so how do you want to get to the children if you don't go through the parents? And it hit me, so I registered for this course. The first day, the first lecture, it was PF that was teaching, and he said in his house, he tells his children know that they've not finished eating until they've washed their dishes. And immediately I dropped off from that call. I implemented it in my house. So you've not finished eating until you've washed your dishes. You've not finished your assignment until you've packed up your books. So and for every lecture we have, for every session we have, I found myself implementing it immediately in my home, and it's been amazing.
So far, I'm happy with what I can see the huge difference that it has brought into my own parenting, I must say. So as much as I have been in this journey of self-development when it comes to parenting, but having been on this course has really raised my awareness to a higher level. And I really appreciate it. So far, I'm really I'm reviewing the family communications module, and yeah, I realized that when we went through it, there were certain things that I was quite not sure of, and I found it to be quite interesting to learn about, to go deeper into the filters. So yeah.
Like there is this mother who came and he was like, my child will always suck his finger, and she doesn't live in the country. So when she came over after 3 months, she found herself just beating the child throughout. Like the nanny will complain, this child is not doing this child is not doing this, the child is not using potty anymore. So many complaints from the nanny, and the lady would just find herself punishing the child over and over and over again. And I was amazed how I was able to speak to this lady. And she took papers, you know. She took a paper and she started taking notes. And I was laughing at myself like, hey, yeah, Marie, there you go. You know, you're speaking like a coach. And my director was right there closer to me and was like, oh, really? You're doing the coaching? This is something you can do for our parents here, you know? And so, yeah, I could see the impact of the training I am taking here. And so, yeah, I'm ready to follow the road and ready to work. Now that I'm in a
Amazing.
school setup, I think it will be very easy for me not only to identify children who have issues and speak to their parents, you know, but again, a very good platform to market myself to parents, because it reached a point where I asked the lady, how are you doing emotionally? You know, are you okay? Were you able to go through those wounds as a child that you have? And she was like, oh my goodness, maybe that is where I should start. You know? So we exchanged numbers. I'm hoping to receive her call very soon. Yeah. So maybe she's going to be my first client, because I was like, well, I can do it, but for just small charges, not very expensive, but yeah, we can do it. And I'm ready to try to do this.
My name is Ayoruwa Adedeji. I am an associate parenting coach. My expectations before joining IFED, why I didn't, but I knew that I did a lot. So my expectation was not cut short.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Well, from where I'm at, and that makes me curious about where you've joined this meeting from. Hello, hello. It is a huge pleasure to be here. It is a privilege to be in your midst today and to be hosting today's Parenting Coaching Accelerator program. My name is Deshola Shoson, and I will be holding your hand all through today's event. I'm so excited that you're here. Good evening, Ayola. Wonderful, wonderful to have you here. Thank you, Liz. Thank you. Ebony, and good evening. Good evening. If I can just take, and I'm loving the greetings in the chat. Yeah, I'm loving the engagement. But if we can take it further, can you please tell me where you've logged on from, where you've joined this meeting from? Okay. And I did see that comment from Kenya. You're welcome. Lagos, Nairobi, South Africa, Abuja, another Abuja, Ghana, Mauritania, Ogun State, Ghana, South Africa, Botswana, DRC, Libya, Tanzania, Senegal, Benin City, Kenya, Zambia, amazing. Cameroon, Botswana, I'm going to struggle with Kibongile. Did I do all right? You're joining from England, Lesotho, Uganda, Togo. Wow. Wow. We're in a global space indeed. Nigeria, Liberia, amazing, amazing, amazing. So, so wonderful to have you here. Worry representing. Fantastic, fantastic. Let's keep those comments coming. Yes, Abuja. Yes, yes. Who has not told us where they're joining from? Lokoja. Good evening. Good evening. Ghana. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Suleja, Nigeria. Kenya. Oh, wow, wow. If we put this in a poll, I wonder who will be winning. I wonder who will be winning. Osho State, Nigeria, fantastic. I don't know if I should say congrats on your elections. I don't know how you feel about that, but we're not going to get political. London, okay, all right, you're happy with that. Congratulations. There you have it. Congratulations on your new governor. Well, your governor, your current governor, your returning governor. Liberia will win. Okay, all right, let's see it. Kwara, Oyo State, amazing, amazing. It is such a privilege to have you here today. Namibia, all right, all right. I think that's the second Namibia. All right. Any other people from Namibia in the? Oh, Jane, do you want to tell us where that is? A riverine area in Delta State, but you said it's a deep, deep village. Where is that? Do you mind coming off mute and telling us? Let me make that my learning for the day. Where is that riverine area?
if you don't mind, Jane. Abuja, Namibia. Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much for
Ugbogodo
being.
community in
Sorry?
Delta State. Ugborodo community in Delta State.
In Delta State. Oh, do you live there? Are you visiting?
Yes, I'm visiting.
Oh, how nice. It's nice to, I think, to leave the noise and the hustle and the bustle of the city sometimes and just retreat. That sounds lovely. Is there
Good.
fish available? You said it's
Oh,
river.
yes, definitely.
Wow. 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 Amazing. I'm enjoying that through you. Yeah, have fun in that deep village as you've described it. Borodo community, wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, your Sunday evening, afternoon, what have you. Thank you for being here. And I can promise you that you have made an excellent choice. Okay, you can give yourself a pat on the back. You've made an excellent choice to join this meeting today. And I just want to encourage you to be all in. Now, as you have made this choice, I'm also going to ask you to help other people in your circles make a similar good choice. Okay. So if you can think of at least 3 people in your circles that you believe will benefit from being in a meeting such as this, right here, right now, I want you to forward the invite link to them and add a note. You need to join this now. Leverage on your circles, forward that link. Think about people who will benefit from being in this meeting right now and send them the invite link, send them the Zoom link, send them the YouTube link, whatever it is you can lay your hands on, pass it on to at least 3 people and add the message, you need to be here now. All right. Once you've done that, can you give me a thumbs up in the chat so I can know that we are on the same page? Once you've passed it on to at least 3 people, look through your contacts and say, yes, you need to be here. You need to be there. You need to be here. Forward that invite link to them. Let's see how many of us are here. 115. So can we double that number? So I've said send to 3 people, but say one of each person's 3 people is not quite available. But let's see if 2 people will join. Oh, at least 1. Yeah, let's see if we can double that number in the next 2 minutes. Thank you, Liz Claudia. Fantastic. Amina, thank you. Well done. Let's get the thumbs up rolling. Pass it on. Forward it. Be your neighbor's keeper. Be your brother, your sister's keeper. Oh, they're not English speakers. Oh, this program is in English. So we're going to let you off the hook. All right? We're going to let you off the hook. But if you can think of any English speakers, please pass on the invite to them. Brilliant. I can see Ghana. It was a country I saw earlier. Malawi, rich culture. Malawi. Okay. All right. I'm seeing the thumbs up coming in. South Sudan. Wow. Amazing. Well done. Let's get the thumbs up rolling. Confirm to me that you are actually inviting people. You're being there, their the source of their blessing today. Let's put it that way. Okay, you are opening the doors of blessing to people in your circle. You're doing something kind and generous. That's what you're doing by inviting them to join this meeting. Okay, Massa from Cameroon, lovely. Invite. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the numbers, and I will update us once we have doubled that number, so we can all give ourselves a huge pat on the back. Botswana is also here. Fantastic. All right. Please keep passing the invite link on. Keep forwarding that invite. Okay. Keep doing that. Let's not relax. The numbers have not doubled quite yet. All right. And like I said, I will keep us in the loop. Once that number doubles, I will let us know. Target hit. I might even ring a bell. I might even ring a bell. All right. Welcome once again to anyone who's just joined the Parenting Coaching Accelerator session today. I am excited that you are here. You should be excited that you are here. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to join this meeting. It is a good decision that you've made, and it will be well worth your time. All right, to take us further in today's meeting, I'm going to be inviting two people, two exceptional. Oh, thank you, Jane. You went as far as bringing so you're having a watch party, isn't it? Lovely. Fantastic. You're experiencing it together, and then you can have conversations. It's beautiful. You can talk about what you're learning together. Amazing, amazing. In Arabic and French. Okay, all right. I will have to filter through Google Translate, right, for that to be done. Yeah, but thank you, Rachel. Thank you for doing that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to invite two people who have experienced this program, all right, and they've gone, the full length of the journey, and they've come back with testimonies, all right? They've come back with a narrative of their experience from their own perspective. They've not been coached. They've not been asked to say one thing or the other. This is their honest account of their experience of the parenting coaching course. Okay, so I'm going to be inviting first on the podium. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Imani. Thank you for doing that. I'm going to be inviting Coach Peace. Coach Peace, where are you?
Right here, ma'am.
Oh, fantastic. Can we pin Coach Peace's video, please? Ah, there she is, looking lovely. Yes,
Thank
Coach Peace,
you.
over to you.
How much time do I have, please? Because I have a lot to say.
Can we do it in 5 minutes, do you think?
I'll try my best. I'm a teacher, so we talk a lot.
I'm rooting for you.
Thank you, Coach Detola. Good evening, everyone. I have so many things to say, but at the top of my list, I want to assure you that you're not here by accident. There's no one in this room who decided to join in or who was invited, or I don't know. But however, whichever way you found yourself here, it means you are meant to stay here. A few months ago, just a little over 3 months, 3 to 4 months ago, I was in the same space. Why? Because I saw an advertisement or a flyer, and I said, it won't hurt to try. And so, thank you, Miss Edie, thank you. And so I saw a flyer about the page, Parent Coaching Accelerator. I'm a teacher, and I believe I can change the world through education. But when I discovered that I could not influence my children when I teach and they go back home and come back worse, I'm telling them I believe in you, and they come back to tell me I can't do it because their parents are telling them they're up to no good. I knew that teaching was not the solution. I had to go back to the parents, and I hadn't found where to learn how to help parents find and nurture the greatness in their kids until I came here. I joined the parenting coaching certification program, and it was the most intense, amazing, stretching 3 months of my life, but it was ultimately rewarding. We got to sit with ourselves beyond being trying to become a parenting coach, which we thought we were doing. We learned to even find out where our challenges were. So you can't just come from a place of enthusiasm and passion and think you can change the world, right? I'm speaking from the perspective of a teacher who wanted to help parents to parent right so that the children in my classroom are getting the support they need, right? Now take that and give it to a parent. There are many parents in this room, and sometimes you think the solution is to start from learning about parenting. No, it starts from understanding yourself. And we went through that deep dive, intense, grilling assessment, but it brought out an aspect of me I had never known. It made me revisit my inner child, and it was such a wholesome journey because you learn more about yourself, how you lead, how you work beyond being a parent, beyond being a professional. It's even translates into your relationship. It was making me understand my husband better, and I'm like, I came to learn how to be a parent, not to be a better wife, but I mean, it's a plus. I take it as Jara. Where I'm from, we say Jara is the extra, is the icing, the top of the icing on the cake. So it was really beautiful, and I must say that I met really amazing people. In fact, Coach Desola, and I need to Coach Desola, I need to share this. So in my niche, or the niche I am tilting towards, which I'm still developing as an associate parent coach, I found one person in our cohort who has also been looking from across the world for someone who ties into that same vision. And we're coming together, trying to collaborate, trying to fuse our visions and our essence together to build something significant. I would have never found that person. She's more advanced, she's more experienced, more advanced. She's worked in the industry for over 30 years, and she came and found me and she said she wants to collaborate. Who am I to say no? My PCC class made that happen. I'm looking forward to possibilities. I made friends. I connected with people from different parts of the world. We worked together. We encouraged each other. But beyond that, we know that Africa is going to be better because I said yes to that program, right? So sit back, listen, soak everything in, but let it not end at this call, this parenting accelerator call. Some people we don't want to give crumbs. So find a way to get in the room and stay there. More information will be shared. We'll find a way to get in the room, stay there, and you'll be nourished. Thank you so much. Over to you, Coach.
Fantastic. And congrats on your collaboration. We're
Thank
waiting.
you.
We're waiting. I'm thinking of the possibilities. What's going to come out of this association that you have with this person that you talked about? Is it a book? Is it a course? I mean, you're going to take the world by storm, and we will not be surprised. We will not, because you have everything that you need at your disposal. Fantastic. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Coach Peace. The second person who will be giving us their own perspective on their experience in the parenting coaching certification course is Coach Fausta. Coach Fausta, where are you? There she is. There we go. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Hello.
Nice to see you again, Coach Desola.
Likewise.
My good names are Fausta Mutani, coming from Arusha, Tanzania. I'm with my son today, so okay, don't mind that. I run Little Prospects Foundation, where I work with children, families, and young people. So I've been working with children for I think more than 10 years, very passionate with working with children. But with time, I realized that the thing wasn't about running more children programs, because we would run children programs and the kids would still go to the same families where our work would be equal to zero most of the time. So with time, I realized that there was a gap, and the gap mostly was with the parents. And yeah, I tried to read from the faith perspective, reading books, but still I couldn't find like a solid framework that I could use. Or maybe it could be another person popping in the social media with their own thoughts and all that. um, So I think it was around February where I had made up my mind that I either go for something about parenting. I was looking for a specific course, maybe something related to psychology or something, but I wasn't very sure of that. So I remember there was a course in Tanzania that was being promoted about transformative parenting. That was basically for the parents themselves. I signed up for that, and then excuse me for that. And then um just few days after, I saw the parenting coaching certification from EFED, and I took a few days. Laszlo, can you wait a bit? I took a few days to just to be sure, is it really what I wanted? I searched and I was like, this is the thing. And when we started the course, just the first day when Coach Fowowe was like, when the introduction day, I was like, this is the right place to be. Just from the expectations and everything that we were supposed to do, I knew exactly that I was in the right place. And with time, the things that I've been able to learn from the course, the manuals, the personality and all those things, they have really changed my mindset. I'll give you an example, especially on the personality part. Most of the time we know the thing of, I'm an intro. Someone might be saying I'm an introvert, and the other person extrovert, and they'll be like, I will not want to learn to be an extrovert. But with this certification has taught me that when it comes to parenting personalities, all the personalities are important in raising a wholesome child. So this has been a game changer to me. And the most interesting part of this coaching program, this is not another credential you're adding to your name or anything. It is something that first changes the coach before the coach goes to change the people. So I remember with working with the vision, the values, and all those things. It is not about me studying to go and help other people. It was the thing that first had to help me before I go outside. Like, I preach what I am already. Yeah, so this has been a very good thing. So, to someone who is looking to become a parenting coach or to come into this space, I think this is the right place to be. And I'm actually looking to, to sign up for more certification or the more courses that are coming from the institute, because yeah, the weight, I think even the price and the weight that we're getting from this one is really different. It's something that makes you become more accountable to yourself compared to other courses that I've been doing, where after the course I'll just close the books and just be gone. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach Fausta. Thank you. What Coach Fausta didn't mention is that she's a social media sensation. All right. I found her on Instagram and I was like, I know this person. I mean, she can be my claim to fame. All right. And I followed her very quickly. And she shares such fantastic content. Thank you. Thank you, Coach Fausta. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. And hello, young man. Hello. Oh gosh, he's tickled. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And everything they said and so much more. Okay. Now, to give you a taste, okay, to give you a taste of what to expect in the parenting coaching certification course, I'm going to be bringing forward the visioner, the innovator. I said at the last graduation, I said he's the granddaddy, right? He's the granddaddy of family life coaching, of family life strategy, and he's the one who birthed this vision amongst many others. Okay, I mean, you want to research Mr. Praise Forward, you're going to need some time. Okay, let me just put it like that. You're going to invest some time into looking into his journey, the work that he has done all through the years. He'll tell you a bit more about that, but I'm going to be inviting him to mount the virtual podium now and deliver the session for today, the main speaking session for today. So PF, where are you? I saw you just a moment ago. Good evening, PF.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. How are you today? My name is Praise Forward, and I'm super excited to be with you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm seeing some African countries. You know, I just wish maybe I need to really pray hard for my private jet to arrive in time so that I can visit all of you because I love my African brothers and sisters, and I love to visit African countries. So for those of you from Gabon, from Malawi, from Botswana, from Kenya, from Liberia, Tanzania. Thank you very much for joining. South Africa, all of you are my brothers and sisters. I mean, one of the things that I can't stand is when Africans fight themselves and when we separate, right? I represent Africa. I wear Africa on my sleeves everywhere I go. And if you want to, get me angry, just say something against Africa in any of the meetings. I mean, because I function a lot in North America. I'm in rooms all the time, and I always say to them, Africa works. I was in church today, and a woman walked up to me. I think I was the only black in my church. Walked up to me, and it was like, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Nigeria," which is in Africa. And then she was talking about Haiti. I said, "No, Haiti is not in Africa." Then I started educating her about how great, how brilliant Africa is, because some people have just destroyed the image of Africa. Hey, Akwaba, my Ghanaian people, one of my favorite national anthems in Africa, right? They've destroyed the image of Africa, especially people who come to America to beg for money. They portray Africa as people with kwashoko. They show them images of hungry people in Africa, children who are drinking, bad water and all those things. Everything they show about Africa out here, you have a version of it here. Right? But they never show that all of us in this room are African intellectuals, are Africans with a brain, who are passionate, who are solving problems. They never show that part. But it's our responsibility to show them that Africa is great. Africa is the greatest continent. We are the first world power, and we're going to be the last world power as well. So thank you, everyone. If I didn't mention your country, I am so sorry. I love you all. Sierra Leone, thank you very much for joining. I super celebrate all of you. So today, within the time frame that I have, I'm going to take you on a journey. And when I'm done with the journey, I will answer a few questions if there are questions. Right? This is Parenting Accelerator. My name is Praise Forward. Praise is spelled Praise. When you say praise the Lord, that's me. And then Forward is Fowowe. If you don't understand what that means, it means someone that bets with money. Okay, so I take my bet with money, right? And so I want you to know that at the end of this session, you would have gained clarity about the problems parents are having, why parenting coaches are now a major need, and practical steps to becoming an exceptional parenting coach. Because, see, we all need to help our generation. If there is the greatest need in our world today, we need parents who know how to create systems. Because the rules of parenting has changed over time. And so if there is anything that is going to distract you, please take it out. I understand that there's a final of the WAFCON, which is between Cameroon and Malawi, right? Who do I want to win? I want the better side. Any team that wins is my team, right? I love both teams because both teams are beating Nigeria, right? And so we love them. Mauritania, thank you for joining. Roger, right? We love you. And so, but don't let anything distract you. I'll release you on time to join the game. Okay. And also, please change the Zoom name if I want to be able to see your Zoom name, so that I can call you by name if I need to. We are 162 in the room. I think we have over 800 or 1,000 people that registered for this class. So if you know anybody who is parenting or who is talking to who is working as a parenting coach, you want to invite them, we can actually double the numbers. Okay, so I have been a parenting coach for 26 years. 26 years, right? And when I started out, it was a chance meeting of taking a walk across a place called Ajegule in Lagos, which is a densely populated area, very close to Soweto. If you know Soweto in South Africa, that's the way Ajegule is to Lagos. And I was taking a walk that night and I saw 14, 15, 16-year-old girls who were prostituting as commercial sex workers. And I was very upset. You know, I got upset. I was complaining. I was blaming government. Oh, government is bad. Government is this. Government is that. And as I got to my room that night, I'm a Christian. I wanted to pray. And I felt a voice said to me, are you just going to complain or you're going to do something about it? And I said, no, I don't have money to rehabilitate nobody. I was just fresh from school. I just finished university. And I just felt something that says, go back there. You can talk them out of prostitution. So I went back there the following day, disguised as a customer, and I started talking these girls out of prostitution. I started taking them back home. It was one of the most daring projects I ever did. I talked every girl in that brothel. The brothel is called Niger Motel on Ballet Street. Talked them out of prostitution that the business literally collapsed. So the brothel association owners, they met and they warned themselves that there's a boy who is spoiling business for them. Nobody must allow me into any brothel again. Fortunately, another person now introduced me to an entire street where prostitution holds 24 hours. So I went in there and I went to start my crusade there again. And I noticed that there was not a single girl. I must have interacted with over 300 commercial sex workers. Not a single one of them who was not sexually molested as a child. Because I used to think, why would those girls needed to sleep with 11 men every day to break even? I couldn't understand it. Why would someone need to sleep with 11 men? Right? I used to think it was poverty. But then it dawned on me when I started interacting with them that for you to sleep with 11 men, something must have gone wrong with your humanity. And I realized that all of them were victims of child sexual abuse. All of them had terrible parenting. And so in my bid to take them back to their families, I realized that I needed to work with their parents, and I began to look for what would work. And so I started being a parenting coach, being a family life coach. You know, I didn't even know the difference way back. I was just everything. And because Africa was really green that period. Nobody was offering it as a professional course, except you go and study psychology or you study guidance and counseling, you know. But I decided to research it, and that was how we started. Now, why a lot of people wanted to eventually later want to use my model was because my process of diagnosing cases was faster, right? So in the early days, I could diagnose what was wrong, get to the root cause within 30 minutes. Now we do it in 2 minutes, actually, and I'll talk to you about that later, right? Because now we have an app that can do the diagnostics in 2 minutes, right? But it used to be fun to be able to design solutions for families. And there are children I see today when I travel. I was in Canada, and I saw a girl walked up to me, right? And she said to me, Praise, you rescued me when I was a teenager, right? I was 13 and I was molested, and then it was you that came into our family and helped us design. He said, today I am married, right? I'm looking at her and I'm like, wow. I meet people across the world, you know, and they're like, oh, Praise, let me host you. I was in Minneapolis. I was doing the transit for 6 hours, and then I just went on social media. Oh, is there anybody in Minneapolis that I can hang out with? And there were people who came to pick me from the airport, and they took me around, and they're like, why are you doing this? Say you don't understand. You were a parent and coach. You were the one that helped our family design structures. So I know that these things work, and I always tell people, I think I'm one of the highest paid parenting coaches right now. So I know that it can be profitable as well. I know, and I have a whole lot of coaches. I have inspired mentors. Someone still called me before I got on this call, thanking me that, Praise, I see all your coaches, all the people you've mentored all around. And my coaches know that I don't hide anything from them. We show them everything they need to know. If there is anything after class, we show it to them. And so, it's to tell you that if there's anything the world needs, they need more parenting coaches. But before I begin to share with you, I represent the premier training and certification institute in Africa. It's called the Institute of Family Engineering and Development Africa. Right? The standard, the future, the legacy. We always pride ourselves as the most important institution you can go if you want to be a family life professional. We engineer stronger families. We're building a better world. I mean, those are the things we do. And everybody who has been through us, I mean, people come to our classes and they think, oh, it's one of the things they've ever done. Then they go through it and they're like, they've never seen anything like it before. And I'm not bragging. That has been the consistent testimonies. There are people who say this, what we take them through is actually stronger than a PhD, right, program. Our vision is very simple. We want to make thriving families possible everywhere. That's our vision. It's a global vision. We want to make thriving families possible everywhere. Wherever you are, in any continent of the world, we want to be responsible to ensure that your family thrive. Our mission is to develop knowledge, systems, solutions, and professionals that transform families. And that's why we are very, very, very passionate about certification programs, helping more Africans see how these things can be done better. Our purpose is to build the family life profession the world needs, right? And our values are humanity, excellence, innovation, transformation, and stewardship. Well, what we do is 6 in nature. 1, we advance family systems knowledge. We build transformative system solutions. We develop competent family life professionals, which is what we're doing now. We set an advanced professional standards. We transform family, communities, and cultures, and we build an accessible global family ecosystem. Why we really do this is because it will not be said that Africa has nothing. I have sat with some of the best brains in the world in the room, and I can tell you for free, they are not better than us. They may have better sophistication, first movers advantage, but when it comes to the nitty-gritty of the model we teach and the model they teach, we have better results. I mean, and our results can't be controverted. We have data to show what we have done. And now we are innovating solutions that the entire world needs. And I'm super proud to be at the base of pioneering some of these things. I'm African, unrepentant African, and I'm super proud. And that's why at the Institute, we believe that we have what to showcase to the world and we have what to teach the world about how families run. Okay, now, the first thing I'm going to say in this meeting is that the greatest value battle in the world, is the battle of parenting. I'm glad that people are sharing testimonies of being in the Institute, right? It's the best place you can ever attend. The greatest battle is the battle of parenting. There is no leader that is troubling Africa today or troubling our world that did not emerge from a family. So before you point accusing fingers and blame the leader, the question a wise person will be asking is, what family did he emerge from? Who were his parents? Many of the leaders traumatizing your nation were traumatized children. Were children that their parents did not set up systems to raise, right? They just parented them anyhow. And many of us are repeating that already. If you're a parent here and your children are already accusing you of what you used to accuse your parents of, is the classic proof that nothing has changed. And so it becomes very important for us to know where we are as Africans. So a couple of months ago, there was the Artemis 2 mission to space, right? And everybody was glued to that. Everybody was talking about it. Then I took some time out to work with some African children to know if they actually were aware of what was going on across the globe. And I found out, sadly, that they were more interested in entertainment. The gist that they were carrying were gist about some guy called Pearl Jarvis, some lady called Blessing CEO, some Kataefe guy, and some guy called Zazu. And so it's dawning on me that if we all do not take responsibilities for our young people, and the social engineering is to make madness popular trend in Africa, what will never trend in Japan, what will never trend in China, we make it trend in Africa, and then they become rich and famous, and we clap for them. There is hardly anything that they're saying that makes common sense that can force your children to go read more, study more, become more intelligent. You know, it's more about entertainment, and most of the time, it does not make sense. And so, the ultimate parent, at the level of the institute, we define the ultimate parent as the skilled system owner that is able to spot the identity of the arrow in the quiver and intentionally shoot and groom in the direction of a predetermined target in a way that it consistently solves the problem it was designed to solve in service to God and humanity. What that means is that parenting is system ownership. You are like a person who owns a terrorist cell. If you take your children, give them to Boko Haram or give them to ISIS for 10 years, they will become terrorists, guaranteed. Who are they becoming with us after 18 years? Many of us cannot tell. And that's where the problem is. When you cannot tell, it means you don't understand parenting, because parenting is a threefold assignment. One, you need to discover your child without bias. Number two, you need to create systems to develop what you have discovered into something that is acceptable and that is transferable and something that can scale all over the world. Number three, you need to have enough networks to deploy your children. And so, this is the ethos of modern day parenting. If you don't understand this, you're already a toast and your children are going to be at risk. And so, there are 4 critical issues that modern day parents are faced with that if they don't address, it's already creating a chaotic world. Number 1, digital distraction and screen time. If you work with parents, this is one of the major issues they talk about. In my family, you never get a phone until you are 13, right? And it's because we need to prepare you. It's not as if you want access to phone. You will use our phone, but your own personal phone, no. And we will have to take you through all kinds of orientation. I mean, my daughter plays basketball, and then she's going to, a new team is going to hire her in Canada. And then, you know, and my wife feels that, oh, she's not been serious with the training. And my daughter said, oh, Daddy, I want to be in that team. I said, okay, apart from the contract you're going to sign with the team, you're going to sign a contract at home as well to say you will do this training, you will do that training. And she was like, well, I said, no, you need to sign the contract because you need to know how to keep commitment, right? Because that's how we work. We don't leave anything to chance. If you give your children phones at the age of 6, 7, 8, and then you don't put the right sustain systems and structure around it, there is no way they won't stumble on pornography. There is no way they won't become victim of groomers, because I tell my children, when we give you a phone, you don't have a phone. We have only extended our phone to you. So it's a position of trust, and you can't password that phone. We must be able to have access to it, and you must drop that phone every night at 10 p.m. and then pick it up the following morning. So there is digital distraction and screen time, and there is enough proof psychologically right now that the more screen time a child has, it can affect their mental health. So excessive screen time has been linked to issues such as reduced attention span, sleep disturbance, social isolation among children and teenagers. Parents are dealing with this. A parenting coach is needed to solve this problem. So they need you. Number 2, mental health awareness. Let me ask you a question. How many of you knew of a friend, if you are here and you are 30 and above, right? So you are 30, 40, 50, right? I want to test something. When you were growing up, you knew any of your friends who came to school and he says he was battling, or he or she was battling with depression, mental breakdown, or any of those things? Yes or no? You knew someone, right? When you were a kid, you knew someone in your class who was dealing with depression, your age mate. Yes or no? Can I see your answer on the chat box? Let me see. Let me see where you guys grew up. Okay, no. Exactly. You didn't see anybody. I didn't. Okay, somebody said yes. I didn't know nobody. I'm 48. I never knew anybody in my set when I was a kid that had mental health issue. Guess what? We were beaten. Our parents shouted on us. In fact, many of us were walking to school. As in, we walked with our leg. They didn't carry us in their cars to school. I started walking to school at the age of 6, right? And my school was about 30 minutes from the house, right? We were walking to school. Some of us even were business apprentices in fact, we were employees without payment in our parents' store. You had to help them hawk pepper, hawk pap, hawk rice, sell water. Some of us had to go to farm. Right? We did all of this as children, what you would consider abuse. They're abusing them. We did all of this, yet we didn't have depression. The only reason many of you have been able to survive hardship, survive many bad leaders across Africa, was that training. Now, all those trainings right now, as now, oh, don't do anything, don't beat them, don't do any of these things. Your teacher gave you beating of your life. Don't touch to them anyhow. Now, we have a generation that we have mental health awareness. But then we have more in this generation dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety, dealing with ADHD, dealing with all sorts of things that you did not know about. Thank you very much, Johnson, for sharing your story. Right? There is a great mental awareness affecting children. So many cases. Anxiety, depression, and stress. Many parents are confused about. There is a new fear now that we're discussing with teenagers. It's called the fear of growing old. So you have a 15-year-old. At the age of 15, his academics begins to drop. And you are wondering what's going on. No, what is happening is that he doesn't want to grow beyond 15 because he has seen the stress. So they say, oh, we don't like what adults go through. Adulting is a scam. You hear that all the time. So they don't want to grow. They don't want to take responsibilities. I see parents in North America. You can't have children in the house and then you as a mother or a father, you are the one doing the cooking. I started cooking at the age of 9. I started doing dishes at the age of 8. I was supposed to be the last born for a long time before my younger brother was born. I did all the dishes. I washed clothes. I did all this. You were taught how to wash your clothes. Now we have 17, 18, we have 15, 16. They can cook, they can mop the house, Didn't you have morning routine? You had to do your morning routine before you went to school. How many of you had morning routine when you were children? Can I say hi? If you had a morning routine you had to do before you went to school, can you type hi? Can you type hi? Let me see. We had morning routines. Those were the things that built you, right? I'm loving this. But all of a sudden, your children can sleep till 8 o'clock. They can sleep till 9 o'clock. And then you're downstairs making food for them. You are the same person cleaning the house. They finish eating and they drop their plates, right? You are the one cleaning. And then you are saying they can't do groceries. They can't do anything. And you say, oh no, I am stressed. They are killing me. No, they are not killing you. You are the ones killing them. Because in the name of it's a new generation, we have abdicated our responsibilities. The things you were put through were the things that built resilience in you. So many of these children cannot survive anything out there. Any adversity like this, they get into drugs. Oh, they say my mental health is messed up. Yeah, we need to make awareness about mental health, but it's been taken too far. It's getting into another extreme. Right? And so parenting coaches are needed to help parents redesign systems and structures that can help their children and that can set them free. Number 3, work-life integration. A lot of parents are overwhelmed because they don't understand the systems intelligence required to parent in the modern age. So you have children who are playing games. They can play games from morning till night. You will not do that in my house, by the way. Right? They are lost in the game. They are addicted to these games. They are addicted to their gadgets. They are eating, they are playing the game. They are dancing, they are playing the game. They are going to church, they are playing the game. Their mind is on the game. You are giving them assignment, they are playing the game. Work-life integration, a lot of parents are stressed. And so they need a parenting coach who is able to sit with them and help them accurately diagnose what is going on. Yeah, recording will be available. It's actually streaming on YouTube. There is an audience watching on YouTube. So work-life integration. I think we have taken this thing. So we begin to create new words. You hear gentle parenting. What does that really mean? Right? I understand what it means, but why are you calling it gentle? What part of parenting is gentle? The economic hardship you are facing, is it gentle on you? Right? The fact that you have to go to work, combine 3 works to pay school fees, is it gentle on you? right? And so is there anything called a gentle life? And so if there's no gentle life, where are we getting gentle parenting from? And I'm not saying go and abuse your children. I'm not saying, mess them up. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that we are taking whatever is coming from the West as Africans, and we are ingesting it, we are internalizing it, and we want to implement it faster than them. There is a problem going on that we are raising a generation that don't think of invention. They don't think of innovation. They are thinking of games. They are thinking of streaming. They are thinking of things that cannot build. I went to Oklahoma last month, and I went to the museum where all the things the Wright brothers, is an aviation museum. I saw what those boys built. I saw how many hours they wrote everything down there. How many of your children can concentrate on one thing for 6 hours without taking a game break? Right? And that's why we now need a lot of parenting coaches to restore the order, because things have degenerated. Many parents themselves need parenting. We need to reparent them because they don't even know better. So how do you tell a mother to even do the right thing when they can't even dress well? And so work-life integration, they need you. Number 4, scripting a child for success is a major need. In fact, this is the biggest need because parenting is an 18-year curriculum. What happens from age 19 is your report card. And so parents don't know the template. So they run to church, they give them 7 steps. Run to mosque, they give them 9 steps. Run to seminars, but then nobody's teaching them systems intelligence. How to set up the home, how to build systems, how to create a domestic management system, for example. In fact, if your family does not have a family governance system, you're already in trouble. And an average families that we've worked with as parents don't have that. We have to help them install it, because your family governance system is where you have your family vision, your family values, the DNA creed of your family. That's where you have your family culture. That's where you have your family history. And that's where you have your routine and ritual. And then your family constitution. Those 7 make up a family governance system. An average family does not. So every crisis going from the family. I mean, you saw 2 twin brothers fighting themselves dirty over music and blah, 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 blah. Everybody is talking about the symptom. What is missing is a family governance system. They did not institute any. Their family does not have any. And so if parents don't understand this, they will be responding instead of proactively building. There are families in Japan that have warehoused wealth for 400 years. They had a family governance system. Any family that has been in existence for over 100 years, they have a family governance system because that's what helps you document. Some of you right now on this call, if I ask you to mention the name of the man in the 4th generation before you were born, you most likely don't know. Right? Yeah, Irene, I know about gentle parenting. I know it's not to give mothers to, but you see the name itself, what it does to Africans, you don't want to know. Right? And so many of you don't know the man in the 4th generation before you were born, your great-great-great-grandfather, or your great-great-great-grandmother. What is the name? What's the biggest thing they achieved? If you don't know, it's already a feedback that you don't have a family governance system. And if you don't create it or don't learn how to create it, 4 generations after you will not remember you. Because the person that lived 4th generation, 5th generation before you were born, they actually existed. They married. They went to work. But who were they? How come you don't know them? But Japanese families, they can trace their ancestry for 400 years. Documentation. We never do that. And so our children don't even know where they're coming from. They don't understand the powers they have. They don't understand who they are. And so these are the critical problems that parents are struggling with, and why you are needed as a family, as a parenting coach, to help them diagnose what is wrong and to help them put structures and systems in place. And so in Africa, we say that it takes a village to raise a child. But you see, the modern village, without a parenting coach, is at risk. I mean, all you need to do to destroy your child right now is to take your child to the village you were born. Just take your child back to your village. Most likely your village has regressed. And I don't know why. African villages regress instead of developing. Many of our villages are in a worse state than when we're growing up. And you want to ask yourself why? So if we don't have a parenting coach in place, who can create a community. So because the new village in the modern day time are communities. If you can't create communities where, as a parenting coach, you are helping them create family governance system, their domestic management system, their security system, the economic system, the educational system for their family, the recreational system and entertainment system, if you can't help them create this, they will be a victim of trial and error. So the firstborn child becomes the specimen in their parental lab, and like you know, the specimen never ever survives. And so, you want to look at these people. Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, Idi Amin, Osama bin Laden, Kim Jong-un. Many of these guys, people don't like them. But the question I'm asking is, what parenting system engineered these people? How did Adolf Hitler become that bad to try to exterminate the Jews? And you know, Adolf Hitler, people actually believe that God sent him when he was doing this thing. But if you trace it back to his parenting, you will see that this guy, every time he did what was wrong, his parents would tell him to go and read King James Bible. And then after a while, they punished him so much that the guy hated Christianity, right? That by the time he joined the seminary thereabout, he actually went to seminary, he dropped out in year 2 or something and contracted some funny ideology, Nazis ideology, and the rest is history. The other question is, would they have turned out differently if their parents had access to you? And there are so many children who are going to become like this if you don't come in and help their parents. Many of their parents don't know better. That's why I doff my heart for anyone here who already has a community of parents. But now you need to now develop the tools to help them transform their lives. You want to look at all these people. Madiba, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. You want to look at Mark Zuckerberg, Winston Churchill, Steve Jobs. And you want to ask yourself, what parenting system engineered these people? I can tell you a little bit about Bill Gates. Bill Gates' mother, right, said that the way they engineered him was such that the first thing they did was that they ensured that he learned everything about everything, including sports. And that once a month, they did charity in their family, and they made sure that he was the one that was distributing food to people who had needs. So you can understand why he started Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation when he started making money. Right? He was scripted for charity. Now, there are a lot of conspiracy theory around him. That's not where my focus is how he was engineered. And he's a pioneer. His father was a pioneer. His mother is a pioneer. If you look at Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg's father registered him for a calculus class meant for university students when this guy was in elementary school. Right? Then his father set up a business at home to teach him that it was okay to work for himself. So his business acumen and his coding ability was developed from home. That is what we call scripting. And so how will you feel if their success was attributed to your parenting coaching support? Across the globe today, people send me gifts, people take me out, simply because of my role in their lives. And so as a parenting coach, Africa needs you. And so, how skilled are you in handling the various problems for parents as a parenting coach? How skilled are you? Are you using native intelligence? Are you giving advice, or have you grown to a level where you can design intelligent solutions? You can design systems that can transform an entire village. I can design systems for countries right now. I can design systems for state governments, right? Sometimes in the state out designing systems, some of those systems have been implemented. You won't even hear my name being mentioned, but I designed some of them, right? Because I know what is possible and I know the outcomes I want to see. And so how much do you think you should get paid? So let's assume that Elon Musk's parents approach you. Elon Musk is from South Africa, I hope you know. And Elon Musk, what he does right now was shaped by his father and his mom, right? Even though he will not admit the role his father played. But You see, his mother gave 7 tips on how Elon Musk was raised. I mean, it's on my YouTube page. I did a session on that. If you follow me, Praise Forward Live, you can find it there, right? So let's assume his parents comes to meet you right now, and they say, oh, we want you to design a parenting program for us that can produce an Elon Musk, right? How much do you think you will charge them? Let me test you guys. How much will you charge? Put your fee on the chat box. Let me see. How much will you charge them to create a parenting program for them? Let's see. Put it on the chat box. Let me see. How much will you charge? Elon Musk's parents came to meet you and say, oh, can you design a parenting program for us? We want to raise a child that will go global. Right? 5 million. 5 million what? Naira? Dollars? 5 million. Somebody said 5 million. Maybe it's rand. 5 million rand. Or 5 million rupees. 5 million FRS. Okay. Naira. $1 million. That's Naira Belu. Okay. $10 million plus return. I loved Tumike. Please take a high five. I love the retainer. You are a business person. Some people are contented to just charge once, right? You need to understand retainership is part of it. Yeah, I can't mention it will be huge. You need to be able to mention. Don't be vague. Okay, Ghanaian cedis, 50,000. Okay, you guys want to earn a lot of huge money, right? $5 million. I love the retainership idea because they will continue to pay you for the rest of your life, right? And so you can, I mean, what you are writing is proof that you can earn anything you want to earn. How much should you get paid for assisting families increase their family wealth across various generations? Because that's part of what you do as a parenting coach. You are the one designing what they call systems office now. You are designing the intellectual firepower of the system office. And those are deals that you earn like $1 million if you find the right client. Because it's only the 1% of the 1% who do it. What is the highest amount you have ever been paid to solve parenting problem? Let me ask that question. All of you on this call, what's the highest amount you've ever been paid for solving the parenting problem for a client? Right? If you have not been paid anything, just put 0. If you have been paid $1,000, put $1,000. If you have been paid $10,000, put $10,000. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I've been doing it for free. Israel, why are you doing it for free? Oh, not yet. All of you are doing it for free. $30,000. Debbie Precious, you've been paid $30,000. That's brilliant. Okay? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so many of you have not been paid yet. Okay, but I can tell you 150,000 naira monthly. Okay, Labisi, that's not bad. Free. Why are you doing it for free? Anybody wants to help me? Why are you doing it for free? Why have they not been paying you? Voluntarily. You've received a thank you. I've received thank you before. They will stretch their hand. Let us bless our brother. $1,000 a month. Party, that's brilliant. I love that. I love the smell of that. But it can be better. This is a new idea for me. I would love to know more about it, please. Okay, Johnson? Okay. A calling and a purpose. That is, a calling doesn't mean it should be free. As a means of making impact. Okay. It doesn't mean it's free. Except you are collecting tithes and offering, right? Even church is not free. As a school counselor in the government, okay. Impacts and personalities, sometimes from a family. If you are a teacher, you know you can do it online and teach something virtually, and people will pay you. Inability to package services. I love this. So already all of you are my candidates. You are not yet a coach. Okay. Okay. I am not yet a coach. I'm a teacher. You are a teacher already. You have access to parents, so they should pay you a whole lot more. Right. Okay. I love the fact that you guys are very honest. What if everything you knew about parenting coaching no longer works? A lot of us don't know that the rules have changed. It's no longer what it used to be. Right? And when you understand that, it changes the dynamics. The rules of parenting coaching has changed. Before now, you wait for them to come to you. Now you have to go to them. Somebody says, I'm a kid minister. My father was a pastor too. Right? So I have the mental block, because many of us have the mental block. Freely have you received, freely have you give. That's not correct. You are a school counselor, but you can also do a private practice outside of school. Right? So many of you are giving yourself excuses why you're not earning. Right? And it's because you don't understand the rules. If you see, I have put out content every day of my life in the last 18 years. Either in writing or in a video, I put out content every day. Because the old rule is that they will come and meet you. The new rule is that you have to go to them. They need to know that you are good at what you do. They need to know that you have speed of execution. People pay me a lot of money because they know I'm not beating about the bush. I know exactly what is wrong. I diagnose the cases and I solve the problem with speed, right? And so somebody said I'm a basketball coach and I interface a lot with parents and I just knew there was knowledge gap. Right now, I'm loving this Ayola, good. Because if you're a basketball coach, many of the children, you can already see that their problem is from their parent. In fact, if you are working with teenagers and young people, 80% of their problem is not the teenagers, it's their parent. Right? And so a lot of us need to understand that there are new ways. Nobody's coming to sit with you for 2 hours to be hearing their stories when some people can diagnose the case in 2 minutes. I can do it in 2 minutes. And so, what are some of the new rules of parenting coaching? There are about 10 of them, but I'll just share about maybe 4 or 5, and then I'll wrap up the session. Right. If you have been learning something new today, can you type yes? Let me be sure that you guys are learning. You guys are learning. Let me be sure. Type yes, 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 yes if you're learning. Okay, don't worry. Don't be in a hurry to go. I'll be done just now. Okay, fantastic. Now, the first rule you need to know if you're going to be an effective parenting coach in this age and time is that parents no longer raise children. They are engineering humans. So every child is not just in life. There are systems waiting to be engineered. That's why if you don't understand systems intelligence, what you are going to be able to earn will be low. I can charge $10,000. I can charge $25,000. I can charge $50,000 to help a family design an entire program. Right? And then they are begging to say, oh, Praise, can you give us discount? I will still charge my $50,000, but I will put, so if you beg and eventually we arrive at maybe $25,000 or $20,000, I will put $50,000 in and I'll show you that I gave you a discount. Because I am not telling you rules and regulation. I'm creating a pipeline. I'm creating an intelligent system that will last you an entire generation and more. So parents are no longer raising children. They are engineering human beings. So the old model is, as a parent, and my job is to feed you, my job is to put shelter, my job is to send you to school and discipline you. The new model is, you need to design identity behavior and outcomes. You are designing systems. You are designing beliefs, identity, and emotional patterns. So when your child does something that is wrong, you are not responding emotionally. You are looking at it, you figure out the root cause, and you design a system to help the child overcome that. Right? So you are designing, you are like someone who is running a terrorist cell. But this time around, it's a positive terrorist cell. Somebody says, okay, I'm Stephanie Kane. If you don't like money, it's fine. This is not about money. This is a parenting coaching class, right? Now, you need to understand that people do this professionally. It's an entire body of knowledge, an entire body across the US, and now in Africa, we've got to do it professionally. So you are designing systems for people, and you should be handsomely paid so well for it. I don't know how many of you have had an experience where where you are teaching, somebody engages you, come and help me with this problem, and you are solving the problem, and you are giving the whole of your time, and then they are not taking you seriously. Right? And then, in fact, people say that people don't take you seriously when they don't pay for a service. And it's not as if they don't know how to pay for a service, but they don't see you as someone they should pay. When people talk to me right now, the first question they ask is, Praise, how much do you charge? But guess what? 15 years ago, they don't ask that question. I will dump myself into it. I will solve all the problems. I will do everything. And I will hear, oh, thank you, brother. Parents are no longer raising children. They are engineering outcomes. So you need to understand how to engineer. And engineering talks about strategy. There are 3 pillars of strategy. Pillar 1 is outcome. What outcome do you want for this client? Pillar 2 is internal capacity. Based on the outcome I want, do I have what it takes? Do I have the capacity? Do I have the skill? Do I have the tools? If you don't have that, it already shows a gap. And that gap is going to affect the outcome. Then pillar 3 is the operating environment. What is the operating environment? The operating environment in Europe is different from Africa, is different from North America. So you need to understand the culture of your client. If you don't understand the culture of the client, you will be sabotaged and it will look like you don't know what you're doing. So that's number one. Parents no longer raise children, they're engineering human beings. Number two, behavior is not the problem. Systems are, and if you can't diagnose system, they can't pay you highly. You don't correct behavior, you correct the system producing it. Because if you treat symptoms without treating the root cause, the symptoms will emerge. It's like you didn't cut the root of a tree and then you just cut the branches, the tree will sprout again. So you are correcting the system producing it. That's why the environment of the home, in fact, in parenting quadrant, there are 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1 is the seed owner, which is God. Quadrant 3 is the seed handler, which is the parent. Quadrant 3 is the seed, which is the child. Quadrant 4, which is the most important, is the environment of the seed, which is the culture, the religion, the home, the system that the child is growing into. And that's why when many of you say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, the child never listens to you because you are doing worse things. So the old model is my child is stubborn, right? Stubbornness is now emotional regulation failure. My child is rebellious. That's broken authority system. If you can't diagnose it and you say, my child is stubborn, my child is rebellious, so you are going to bully the child, you are going to say, you're going to threaten the child, you will threaten the child can go silent, but then what has been lost in the child? What's the opportunity cost? And this is how extrovert become introvert. And they begin to manifest what we call pseudo-personality. So when we take their assessment, you can see pseudo-personality, which means that their potential has been suppressed by an authority figure in their life. So the new model is that behavior is equal to output. System is equal to the cause. So you are looking for the system responsible for this behavior. So if it's an emotional regulation system, you know this is an emotional regulation system. So what systems do we install? So you go away from the normal counseling or advisory, telling people this is what to do, this is what not to do, to helping them engineering a system that will change the parents and change the child themselves. And that gives you a permanent solution to a problem. Number 3. Sorry, can we mute the person that is talking? The future of parenting is cultural warfare, not individual warfare. Now, if you don't intentionally assist parents design a child's culture, the world will, and only those that can help parents reclaim, only parenting coaches that can help parents reclaim authority and build gets paid. So basically what that means is that the fight right now is a cultural warfare. There is a new culture out there. It's a culture of lawlessness. It's a culture of low attention span. It's a culture that lacks appreciation for authority. So when we're growing up, if an adult or someone older than you offended you, some of you can't speak your mind. That's another extreme, which is not good. But some of you can actually talk about it, right? But you say it respectfully. Right now, you see people talk to their parents, age mates on social media. They tell them, shut up, you are stupid, you are useless. That's another culture that you don't want to promote, right? And so the new model is that parenting is now competing. So there are 2 dimensions of parenting. You have the biological parent, then you have the media parent. The media parent seems to be winning the battle. Every time your child starts to speak a slang that you don't know about, that you never taught them, that you can't even figure out, is proof that someone else is parenting them. So parenting is competing with social media, it's competing with schools, peer culture, and Western ideology, right? So you see parents, children, I was looking at the social media today, and there's a matter trending of a girl who came on social media to talk about a married man that was having sex with her, and then she didn't know the man was married. Now, how do you even get into this kind of thing, and your parents are not aware? I think she's 19 or something. I can't remember the age right now. Right? So you see that the things that people even do secretly is now coming into the open. Right? And that's to tell you that a new model is being weaponized. What we celebrate are the people who are celebrities. People who go naked. People who beat themselves. That's what we applaud. Right? People who are toxic. That's what we celebrate on social media. And that is conflicting with your family values. So you have to understand that it's no longer an individual warfare. It's now a cultural warfare where there's another culture that is seeking to recolonize people. And so as a parenting coach, in designing solutions, you are able to help families design a culture that helps them win. I see that all the time. And that's why one of the things you need to learn is what is called domestic educational system. There is the educational system your child goes into. That educational system is not designed for the best interest of your child. Your family must have its own vision. Your family must now have its own domestic educational system. For example, my family, we have a perception called royalty. We have a curriculum called the royalty, which my children go through. The royalty is a list of all the people that I know that changed the world. So we created 10 minutes video. They watch the videos every day, right? Now they do it once a week, but in the early days it was once a day, right? They watch it in the morning, then we do devotion. In the evening, they are making presentations on it. So my children know a whole lot about, so people are like, how are they able to know these things? But there were things I taught them early. You need to create your own domestic curriculum. Our parents call it home training, but they didn't document it. Because every curriculum runs an agenda. So your family agenda must be taught intentionally that your children cannot teach it to generations unborn. And this is how that's a typical system among several other systems. For example, you can create a family health system, which is preventing medicine. To say that, in fact, many years ago, we took our children off fizzy drink. It wasn't easy. So before we were going to take them out of Coca-Cola and Fanta, right, what we did was that we started juicing pineapple because that is sweet, closer to Fanta. And then with time, they started eating raw fruit. The year we made that change, guess what happened? Our children did not go to the hospital at all. They were not sick around the year. They were not sick. So we say in our home that your kitchen is either a pharmacy or it's either a mortuary, right? So if you pay attention to what you eat, then you have literally taken care of your health. And then we ensure that there is a siesta time. And then everybody must exercise, right? So that's a family wellness system. So your job as a parenting coach is not rules and regulation, is to help them design a wellness. Number 4, parenting coaches are the new wealth builders because without parenting systems, family wealth is at risk. There is a global data that says that the richest families lose their wealth by the 3rd generation. And so, despite the fact that the super rich now set up what they call family office, the family office they are setting up, right, helps take care of their assets and their wealth, but by the 3rd generation, they usually lose it. Why? Research has now shown that what they lack is that while they get professionals to manage the wealth, they never train the people that inherit the wealth. So parenting fails, and yet, so you now have untrained people managing wealth. Guess what begins to happen? They begin to drug themselves. They begin to travel and do wild parties. They begin to sleep around. They begin to do all kinds of things. So the next generation will be shaped by those who understand families, not just finances. So the old model of coaching is passion. The new model is high impact, high income profession because demand is exploding. Therapists are overwhelmed. Parents are desperate. So you can actually approach a family and tell them that you would design what we call an year leadership development program for them. What is that system? That is the system that governs the curriculum of what every child born into that family must learn. At the age of 6, this is what every child must learn. At the age of 10, this is what every child must learn. At the age of 12, this is what... So, right through age 0 to 18, you know what every child would have learned about finances, about wealth, about legacy, about the reputation of the family, about the vision of the family. You help them design it. And so, it's not enough for them to say, oh, this is what we know, this is what we have. Who is going to inherit it? That's part of your job now. And so parenting coaching, therefore, is partnering with parents in a thought-provoking and creating process using cutting-edge methodology that inspire them to maximize their parenting potential. It is partnership to create a world that is safe for all. The only group of people who can change the dynamics, raise new leaders for Africa, raise new leaders for our world across board are the parenting coaches. And that is you. And so, question is, do you have a professional framework, or you are just using native intelligence, or your model is obsolete? If your model is obsolete, you are not going to get a lot of people patronizing. If you are using a framework that does not work, people will tell people that you're not good enough. And that's why you need to find a way to embrace a framework that actually delivers the outcome. So the question is, how much do you want to earn within the next 1 year from parenting coaching? All of you who have said you are not earning anything, I know you would love to earn, right? There are a few things you need to change about how you package yourself, how you put yourself out there, because this profession should be one of the highly paid professions across the continent of Africa and across the world. And so it's important for you to know that whatever you make up your mind to earn, you can earn. What you earn, what you charge, as a matter of fact, selling is helping the customer make an informed decision about a solution that is beneficial to them. And so, I'll tell you about Africa, and I'll be done here. This is African continent. 1.46 billion people. There is about 18 to 19%, that's about 19% of the world's population. Africa is the youngest and fastest growing continent globally. The median age of an African is age 19. What that means is that the majority of African kids now need parenting. By 2050, Africa population is projected to be 2.5 billion. By 2100, it will range from 3.5 billion to 4 billion. This is what global statistics is showing right now. The black population across the world, conservative estimate is 1.6 billion. Out of that 1.6 billion, 1.46 billion are Africans. But here is the problem. According to the World Health Organization, Global Mental Health Workforce Model, Africa has an average of 1 mental health professional to 100,000 people. And that includes psychiatrists, psychologists, psychiatry nurses, social workers, and other specialists. So it means for every 100,000 people in Africa, there's only one competent family life professional for them. So it means that out of 1.46 billion Africans, we only have 14,600 mental health workers outside. That already tells you that we are in a state of deficit. We are already behind, and it means we are in trouble. And that's why you cannot keep to yourself. You cannot just sit down and say, oh, you know, I can't do anything about it. I'm just going to take care of my family alone. The crisis and the tragedy on ground requires all of us to be up and doing. But here is the bigger problem. What is the realistic caseload of a professional in a year? So it means that to avoid burnout, if you do 300 cases in a year, you will almost die. Except you are doing group classes, right? And so let's even assume that you do 250 to 300 families through direct coaching, group programs, church and community programs, institutional partnership, right? It means that one professional, we need to do about 250 families in a year. That's already a lot. That's why we need more people. And so here is the problem. Let's even assume that we are training new professionals every year, right? Let's assume that, you know, we do 1.6 million FSC professionals. Ultimately, we will need at least 1.2 million competent hands. So if we train 48,000 people, it will take us 25 years to meet the target. If we train 60,000 professionals every year, it will take us 20 years to meet the target. The earliest we can do it is 10 years' time, which means we are training 120,000 professionals per year, which is almost impossible. So we are already at risk. And that's why at the institute level, what we've decided to do is that we'll train 1,000 Africans every year, right? And that includes family systems engineering coaches, parenting coaches, and teen coaches, which we're already doing, right? And so basically, what we're doing is we have a parenting coaching program, which is 10 weeks in class. In that class, you will learn the fundamentals of modern parenting. You will learn how to run effective assessment and accurately diagnose cases. I will show you a link you can go check out, and you will see how effective that link is. Right now, our professionals, our coaches now diagnose cases within 1 to 2 minutes, 120 seconds max. You would have accurately diagnosed what is wrong with your client, and you have a roadmap that can help them, right? That works right now, and you can do the assessment in French, in English, in Yoruba, in Igbo, in Hausa, and in Spanish. Those are the 6 languages that we have right now. French, English, Spanish, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, right? They can take the assessment already. So even if all you are doing is to get people to take the assessment and you are doing their review, you have already started your practice, right? You're going to teach them to create a fail-proof intervention that helps parents succeed. Running therapy and strategies that helps you win sabotaging cases. Joining, then you have a supporting community. So there is a community that supports you after you leave class. Whatever case you have, you can put it in the community. Somebody will help you. If you're having any challenge, they're going to help you. So there is ongoing post-class support, right? The framework we use, you're going to learn coaching framework for parenting, origin and instinct, foundation for inner child healing. You will learn to help parents heal their inner child, because a lot of parents are suffering from trauma. You're going to learn effective communication and emotional management, personality identification and behavioral management, technology use, discipline and time management, how to help families create digital systems and strategies, co-parenting dynamics, which has risen across Africa right now, stress management and long-term strategies, the business of parenting coaches. Then you will learn intervention plan, how to reframe techniques, boundary management, all kinds of caseloads, and how you can handle it. The model we use is a model that is built on, first thing is you don't listen to your client. Many of you waste a lot of time listening to clients. Oh, what has happened? They are telling you stories. 2 hours, they are still listening. No. The first thing they do is they take assessment. When they take your assessment, they already paid for that service. So even if they don't work with you, you have not lost anything. They have to pay for you to accurately diagnose what is going on with them and for them to say. Every time I run assessment, right, parents are running after me to say, oh, Praise, when can we start? Because you know the interesting thing I found out? Parents don't mind if their marriages fail. What they have a problem, they will do everything to ensure that nothing happens to their children, right? So they take assessment, they send the assessment to you, you review the assessment, and then you create a parenting compass, you create an entire roadmap for them. What we do is we ensure that no matter how tough the case is, within 13 weeks, we have helped them resolve it. That's what we always do, right? Because in America, for example, I see people who have been in therapy for 7 years. I'm like, what are they doing? But I also understand that people have made people into business, but I want to solve the problem in 13 weeks, right? And so, if you are in this class, what can happen if you can learn how to accurately diagnose cases within 2 minutes and charge your clients $100 for that? Because that's the typical, the cost of your assessment and your review with them should be like about $100, right? And then because when cases are accurately, in fact, the most important part of parenting coaching is accurate diagnostics. If you can't accurately diagnose a case, you can't help anybody, right? What if you can master how to design parenting framework for parents and earn a minimum of $3,000? What if you can accept parents design a multi-generational platform, which is the family systems, office? That's quite expensive to do globally. You can Google it and check. You can become the most competent parenting strategist humanity deserves. If you go to oyela.ai, you will see an assessment space, which is the assessment all our professionals use. Now, if you are not satisfied, you can use it. Now, on that app, you can also enlist your service. You can be onboarded wherein people that take assessment and need coaches can see you and hire you from there, right? You can check it right now in 120 seconds. If you take any assessment, parenting assessment, teenagers assessment for teenagers, second marriage assessment, marital assessment, executive wellness assessment, all kinds of assessments are there, right? You will get your report within 2 minutes and it's accurate. Some of the reports are like 25 pages. It will diagnose everything, break everything down, and show you a roadmap for your client. That's one of the things all our professionals now enjoy, right? And so the question is, how much will you be willing to pay to become a highly successful parenting coach or strategy? So this is what we're doing. We're running a class, which is the final class for the year, right? And this is what it costs. What we have done in the last 4 years is that we have not, as an institute, increased our course fee. We've kept it the same, but this is the last time we're doing this. From next year, the prices will change because we have some affiliations with some universities, right now, and then their board has already decided that the prices is too low for what we offer right now, right? So ideally, it's about $1,000 if we have to do this properly. I've taken courses that cost me $10,000, $20,000, right? But what we've done is we've kept this at 350,000 naira, which is $253, right? But today on this webinar, right, you'll be able to get the course for $300, 300,000 naira, which is $217. All you need to do today is, if you lock your space, this offer is only available for 1 week, right? So if you pay 100,000 naira today, or $72, you will have access to pay 200,000 to balance within 1 week, and you have access to that. Or you can do instrumental payment. Instrumental payment is slightly higher. That will require you to drop 150,000 and then spread your balance across 2 months, right? And so they will put links on the chat group. If you want to join the class and totally change your life and become professional and competent, it's a certification course, by the way, which means you're going to be certified, you're going to do practicum, you're going to be certified, and then you can work with families everywhere you find yourself in any country of your choice, right? So the webinar deal today is 300,000 naira, which is $217 dollars. And so, but you can lock down your space with $100. Now, after 1 week, prices go back to 350,000 naira. Now, I know some of the questions in your mind. What are the terms and conditions for this course? It's a 10-week course. You come to class once a week for 2 hours, right? Where your coaches will take you through different modules. 60% compulsory class attendance. You can take permission once in a while. What is recorded in class will be sent to you, but you need to do 60% attendance. Compulsory own place, you need to submit them. You graduate, and then you go and do practicum, you do your defense, and you become fully certified. We have an entire conference where you come annually, and then you are lapelled. You're given a lapel. Now, the parenting coaching is the bridge between parents and the tools they need to guide their children through the challenges of family life with confidence and connection. Families need you. Government agencies in your country need you. Religious organizations need you, right? Wherever families are found is where a parenting coach is needed. Organizations need you. I'm on retainership with some organizations right now, right? Some of them are actually, multinationals, right? Anything that pertains to their parents, we offer employee family assisted programs, right? So you are needed everywhere. You are needed in schools, everywhere. And so click on the link, sign up right now, and I hope I get to see you in class, right? It starts very, very soon, right? So how many of you are still going to come to class with me? I'm not the only one teaching. There will be other lecturers, teaching you all kinds of things. If you're going to be in class with me, can I type hi? If you're in there, type hi. And I hope to see you. I hope to help you. Okay, good. I can see my people, right? Let me tell you something. Your life will be total. I have people join class and in 1 week they've made their money back, right? It's an investment in your life, in your family, first in your family actually, and then in yourself, and then in the generations unborn, and then you can do this professionally. So I can't wait to see you guys in class. Click on the link, sign up today. Classes hold every Wednesday night, West African time, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., right? And 2 hours. If you miss the class, they will send the video to you, but you need to do your assignment. There are coaches that will support you, help you all through. And when you graduate, there's a group where we support you all through, right? Okay, so I can't wait to see you. Somebody said I didn't get the price. Just click the link. You will see all the things that you need. I want to thank you guys for listening to me. I hope this session has been helpful. Let us join together, hands together to save Africa. Let us transform our continent. Our continent needs us. our children need us, they can't afford to be going to funny people. I met a woman who told me that she was playing with water. Her parents couldn't diagnose what was wrong with her or what she was doing, and they took her to a prophet. The prophet took her to the mountain, and they began to beat her because they believe that she has a marine spirit. They beat her to the extent that she said she now started confessing that she actually belonged to marine spirit and that they used to kill people just so that the beating can stop. That child could have been an oceanographer. That child could have been a global champion in Olympics in swimming. But because they didn't know better, they went to meet the wrong people. Every time we don't show up as parenting professionals and guide families, they become susceptible to people who are going to destroy children. Well, we can't wait to have you in class. Click on the link. How to pay is there. The process is there. You can use your card. If you need some transfers, you make transfers. You can chat up the numbers on the chat box and they'll tell you what to do, how to go about it. Thank you very much for listening to me. Over to you, Coach Desola.
Thank you, PF. As always, impactful, transformational, reflective, thought-provoking. I mean, someone is putting a comment in the chat, expository. Can we just appreciate PF? Can we say thank you? Thank you for taking time to spend time out of no time. Your schedule is crazy. Spending this last hour or thereabouts with us. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for that passion that came through. It's a consistent thing. Let's just appreciate PF and let that appreciation translate to us taking our sports, highly coveted sports, I must tell you, in the parenting coaching certification program. All right. So let's appreciate him for now and then sign up to attend the course. As he said, and it's not just him, Coach Fauster said it as well. You get tremendous value. Okay, you get higher use value, significantly higher use value than whatever you might think you're paying for this course. So you can be assured of the fact that it is heavily discounted. Okay, so that is my encouragement to you. Sign up, join in, join the moving train that is going to rescue Africa. All right, that is going to rescue Africa and indeed the world. All right, the work is that the harvest is plenty. I can tell you that. I mean, he made reference to taking on up to 300 clients a year. It is a lot for anyone to carry. So the more of us on this train, the more of us doing this work, the better we can sleep at night. All right. I always say to parents, if we're going to ensure that the world continues to be sustained, there needs to be an intervention. Things are going downhill, but help is available if you will take on that baton. Okay, so sign up. If you have any questions, happy to answer. There are numbers in the chat. You can save the numbers. You can ask any questions you have, make inquiries, get that clarification, and make sure you are in class. Make sure you are in class. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to just stay on for a few more minutes, just in case anyone needs any further information. But I think that was well delivered. That was well delivered. Everything how do you get the certificate of participation? Do you mean after the course or for this webinar? So I get your question correctly. Emmanuel, is it for this webinar or for the course? If it is for the course, if you're referring to the course, it will be after you successfully execute all the expectations. So there are parameters, conditions that you need to meet to graduate, all right, to be lapelled, as PF said. All right, so at the end of the 12 weeks, you'll be lapelled as an associate coach, parenting coach. And then obviously to be lapelled, you do need to meet certain conditions, right? You will have home plays, you will have work that you will be required to turn in, right? And then you can go for your certification, which is what would require you to complete your defense. Okay, so that's a different process itself. You will complete your defense. All right. So I hope I've answered your question. Emmanuel, can you do all the courses? Oh, yes. One foot in front of the other. There is nothing that stops you. Nothing at all. Nothing stops you from doing all the courses. Nothing at all. When do you mean after this? Okay. There's a question in the chat. This person is asking if King David, you're asking if you can miss all the classes because you have midweek service on Wednesdays. That is something that we can look at, okay? If you don't mind ringing that number, if you can ring that number, perhaps some accommodation can be put in place for you.
Coach Desola, it will need to be
Yeah.
they can attach him to a mentor who will have to create another time to take him through the modules, but to do all his tasks, right? Even though what I just means that it will be a bit slightly more expensive, so it will be bespoke for him. Yeah, that's what we do then.
Okay, there you have it. PF has said you can be accommodated. It might take you a bit longer and you'll be attached to a mentor who will then take you through what everybody has learned. All right. Fantastic. Are there programs you will need to purchase? No, you don't need to purchase anything. Everything you need will be made available. The fees once and done. All right. What other question is there? You don't get a certificate of participation for this webinar, Emmanuel. You get your certificate after you have completed the coaching program. All right. It is online. The classes are online. They're all online. It's convenient for you. It is online. All right. I've answered Funke Akionla's question. The next batch after this one, I would take advantage of this one. But if you want to consider the next batch, this is the last one. As PF said, this is the last one for this year. So we're talking about next year, okay? And bear in mind, the price will not be the same, okay? Just so you remember that bit. What you can do as a pastor. I'm not sure I follow. But it will definitely be helpful for you, even in your role as a pastor. The exact date, there you have it, is in the chat. Okay, King David, I would look at how I can do it rather than shutting a door. All right. Rather than saying you won't be as a definitive, I would ask myself, how can I manage to do this? Right? PF referenced the instrumental payments. So that might be something you can explore if it is a funding issue. But I would give a phone call. I will put a phone call through to the number and have a conversation. Okay? Have a conversation. You don't know, I don't deal in absolutes. Okay, that's just not something I do. There's nothing that is impossible. Question is, how do I want it? When do I want it? Okay, so I would have a conversation and then make a decision. Okay, so please call the number in that in the chat that has been put there. Around which period? Do you mean the next batch? The answer is right above. That's April 2026. All right, and then this current this year, the last one is 23rd September. The last cohort for this year starts 23rd September. And if you're asking about next year, the answer is in the chat. That's April 2026. Okay, any other questions? What other benefits can you get after the program? So you'll be part of a community. PF did cover this. You'll be part of a community, ongoing support, ongoing mentorship will be available to you. So it's not that you take the course and then we send you on your merry way and go and figure it out. No, you will have that sense of belonging. You'll be inducted into the network of family life professionals, right? And then you have that backing. You have a team of what, PF? Is there a number? How many have we grown to? Above 1,000? Yeah, that's the kind of support that is available. So you're not going to be on your own. Okay, you have difficult, challenging cases. You have a community behind you that you can approach, right? You've learned something in class. I mean, Coach Fausta can tell you about that. Their cohort was really, really good. And maybe other cohorts do it and they don't tell us about it, but they shared their own approach to that community. So they have their own cohort community, then they are part of the larger community. And from what they shared, they support each other, and it's just amazing. That Ubuntu spirit is truly alive in them, and it was fantastic to see, because they all met on the course, right? Nobody knew each other prior to joining that cohort, and they've come away with that sense of belonging. Okay, looking after each other, cheering each other on, supporting each other. Okay, so those are some of the benefits that you will get after the program. Can the time for the payment be increased? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that is possible. Okay, I'm not sure that is possible, but reach out. Okay, please call the number. Call the number. You can do it now. Call the number and have a conversation. All right. I'm just going to stay on a bit longer in case there are any other queries that I might be able to help with. And if anything comes to you after now, save that number. It's in the chat. Save the number, give them a call, send a message. I believe it's WhatsApp enabled. Let me just double check. Admin, is WhatsApp available on those numbers? Or is it just text or calls? So that we're sure. For people outside of Nigeria. WhatsApp or call, there you go. So you can WhatsApp, you can call those numbers just to get further clarity. I will do it now. All right, I will do it now. Ask your questions, get clarity, and get signed up. Get signed up. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. The chat has kind of quietened down. So I believe we're all busy on our phones. We're signing up. We're filling those forms. We're reaching out on WhatsApp. We're doing what needs to be done. All right. I want to believe that's what is happening right now. But thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for participating. Thank you for engaging. And thank you for signing up. All right. Those of us who are still on the fence, please take advantage of this opportunity. All right. Take advantage of this opportunity. If you still have questions, as I said, use WhatsApp, put a call through to the numbers in the chat, and anyone that picks up will be very happy to support, happy to help. All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. It's been fantastic being with you, and see you sometime. Have a good evening.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night. Good night. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Yes, there is a deadline, Lucy. I'm just going to go back to, right. So you pay within the week. All right. You pay within the week. There's a one-time payment. So the 350, bear with me. I don't see Naira often. So it's taking me a minute. Right. So there is no deadline to the 350. That's the full payment of the course, right? As long as you pay before it starts, I believe that should be fine. It's if you're trying to do an installment plan, or you're trying to take advantage of this webinar offer, all right, that's what has got a deadline on it. Okay. And there's the deadline of for a one-time payment, and then a week. Okay. But for the 350, no, there isn't. Okay. I hope that clarifies for you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you.